Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. What is going on in the Caucasus? What's going on in Azerbaijan? What's going on in Armenia? We know that Georgia is all clear for the Russians. But what's going on in these two countries? In the Caucasus, I think Putin wants, before he goes to meet whomever, Jesus or whomever, I think he wants to leave his country safe in the Caucasus. The Caucasus always were a hot spot for the Russian Federation or Russian Empire, however you want to call it before that. So what do we have here? Somehow, both governments in Azerbaijan and in Armenia have a problem with the Russians, or at least there's some unrest. Now, I understand the guys in Armenia, whom I think the Prime Minister of Armenia is an MI6, but I don't understand the Azerbaijan. What are those guys doing? They arrested some Sputnik workers, media outlet, and charged them with terrorism? Now, I know you can charge them with spying for someone else or anything like that, but terrorism? And Russia is monitoring it closely. Now, sometimes you create problems in countries, foreign countries, and then you come and intervene, right? Or sometimes you just take advantage of certain circumstances and you intervene to control. I think this is what's going on in these two countries. Hey, I'm going to show you some maps and let's see what happened. Let's start with Sputnik. This is from 4 hours ago, today, on July 1st, 2025. 7 people detained at Sputnik Azerbaijan office in Baku. Now, this is a big thing. I didn't hear Azerbaijan being too upset with the Russians. They were when they claim that, no, they claim it happened, that a passenger train, airplane was shot down by the Russians, and it was Azerbaijani, and the Russian says, yes, we were under attack by the Ukrainians and we told these guys not to come over. They came over and it was an accident. It was an accident. That, it seems like when the relationship went deep nose, okay, dive. So let's see what now. On Monday, the Azerbaijani Interior Ministry announced an operation, quote-unquote, at Sputnik's office in Baku. 7 people were detained as a result of an operation at Sputnik Azerbaijan editorial office in Baku. The Azerbaijan Interior Ministry said the charges against the detained journalists have not been filed and access to the consular staff to the employee has not been secured. A spokesperson for the RUS said, the work of Sputnik Azerbaijan's office in Baku has been blocked. The spokesperson added, there are Azerbaijani citizens among the detained employees of Sputnik's bureau in Baku. The actions of the security forces in Baku against Sputnik Azerbaijan employees are unfounded, the spokesperson for the Russia Segodnya media group said. That's not how you do it if you're friends. That's not how you do it if you're how do you call it? Not accomplices, Jesus Christ. Just a person that you know. I can't find a freaking word right now. So you're not my friend, you're just an, how do you call that, man? A person that you just know. An acquaintance. Now you do this when you have a problem with someone. So let's go, and the Russians are better at media and propaganda than these guys in the West? Why do I say the West? Do you think they're not working in Azerbaijan or Armenia? All right, so this is what it says. On Monday, the Azerbaijan Interior Ministry announced an operation. Security forces in Baku, they did observe charges. The 2 Russian journalists, according to the information the media group has, a search was conducted in the apartment of one of the guys and the computer equipment seized. It should be noted that this guy's health is a particular concern. Okay, let's go and see what Russia Today has to say. On the 1st of July, today, Tuesday, the chief editors of Sputnik Azerbaijan have been placed into pre-trial detention for 4 months. Baku court jails Russian journalists. A Baku court on Tuesday ordered the pretrial detention of Igor Kartsav. This is the guy that was in the other article right here with the health. Head of the Sputnik Azerbaijan's editorial office and editor-in-chief Evgeny Belousov. For 4 months, the Russian journalists were arrested a day before during a police raid on Russian news agency's office in Azerbaijani capital. The country's authorities claim the agency has been operating, and I'm quoting, through illegal financing, while Sputnik dismissed the allegations as absurd. Well, we're gonna find out right now. Azerbaijan accuses Russian law enforcement of killing detainees. So, the same day, Azerbaijan has something to say. Baku claims that 2 people were beaten to death by officers after a raid on a suspected Azerbaijani gang. The authorities in Baku have accused Russian law enforcement of fatally beaten 2 detainees after a raid on an alleged ethnic Azerbaijani gang. The incident has triggered a diplomatic dispute between the 2 countries. You got it? Boom. So that's with this. And what's going on here? Kremlin weighs in on unrest in Armenia. So we got Azerbaijan and Armenia. Where are you, baby dolls? Let's see. And why this is important. Remember, the Chechen war, number 1, and solved, number 2, by Putin, were also in the Caucasus. Georgia is a country that wanted to be France's batch, like Romania, for instance. But the Russians were stronger and they won in Georgia. I thought Azerbaijan was quasi-independent, but it seems like they have something to say to Russia, and Russia will solve the problem. Or the West activated something. Because if you do this in plain view and you provoke Russia, you understand Russia will react and smack you. But it's a provocation. I'm not saying that you should not investigate crime. I'm not saying that, but this is what the Western countries do. Not Azerbaijan. Let the Western countries do this, like arrest Sputnik or ban Russia Today and others in their territory. So their citizens are just propagandized by their media, okay? But not you. You're better than that, Azerbaijan. All right. It's much more than that, my friends. Believe me. So maybe right here. So we're going to go maybe the Dingo age of baby. So this is the Caucasus area between the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea. Got it? These are the Caucasus. This is where Georgia, Azerbaijan, Armenia, all right, are located. And besides, you have Iran, you have Turkey, and then you got the other guys up here. I'm going to show you another map. This is on a big map. Russia ends right here. This is the Russian border. So Azerbaijan is here, Armenia is here. Armenia, without Georgia, cannot have a revolution, neither can Azerbaijan. We have Iran here, but we have Turkmenistan here, and others, Pakistan lower down here. Nevertheless, back that way. So, in the other scheme of things, this is this, but it's easier to see colored with names and so on. So this is where Russia ends, Russian Federation. This is Dagestan, where Khabib and Islam are located in here. This is Georgia, this is Armenia, this is Azerbaijan. These guys had a problem with Nagorno-Karabakh. Azerbaijan took over. Armenia cannot do shit because they can't have anything with Turkey, obviously not with Iran, and Georgia is the only one. Now Georgia has access to the Black Sea right here. You see, has access to the Black Sea, which could be helped through the Dardanelles and Bosphorus Straits, going to the Aegean Sea, and then go to the Mediterranean, go to the Atlantic, and then you can get some help from these guys or from these guys through that. Other than that, they can't come to Tehran, they can't come to Turkmenistan, Afghanistan is right here, Pakistan is right here, they can't get help. So these are done. The Russians, on the other hand, can come over straight on you to Dagestan. They will fuck you up, you and you. So since Georgia right now is in Russia's sphere of influence clear, I would say independent, Armenia is next. Azerbaijan seems like cast the first stone. I mean, if you consider that airplane being the first stone, so be it. But the problem is they will clear everything here. We'll find out. They pacified Dagestan. This is Chechnya. Remember, this guy's right here. in here. They say Russia right here, Russian Federation goes over. So let's see what's going on in Armenia. And Armenia, remember the prime minister, I think he is an MI6, he works for the Brits, I think. The former Soviet Republic has arrested several clerics amid a standoff with the opposition. So over there you have the media in Azerbaijan, not there. Right there you have the media, the Sputnik, 7 people detained at Sputnik office. Then here you have the clerics. Political turmoil in Armenia is an internal matter, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov has said. Yeah, that's what you say. Following the arrest of senior clerics and a Russian-Armenian businessman accused of plotting to overthrow Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan's government. That's the guy, Nikol. All right. Earlier this month, the Armenian authorities took into custody Archbishop Bagrat Galstanyan, the leader of the Sacred Struggle opposition movement, and Archbishop Mikhail Ajapayan. They are both accused of plotting a coup. The arrest sparked a public outcry and protest which developed into clashes with police. Got it? The archbishops are key members of the Armenian Apostolic Church, which was the main driver to protest against Pashinyan, the prime minister. Got it? In an interview with Russian journalist Pavel Zababa, Peskov said Moscow is closely monitoring the situation but will not interfere yet. And I'm quoting, "This is, of course, an interim matter for Armenia. We are, of course, interested in the preservation of law and order in Armenia, so that Armenia is prosperous, stable country friendly to Russia." Armenia. Okay? Peskov noted that Russia has a large Armenian diaspora, many of whom, and I'm quoting, are watching these events with pain. Therefore, might ask us to intervene. Many, of course, do not accept how this is happening. Next. Why the next revolution in this country might start in a cathedral. This is the 29th, right? The other one was 29th. This is 29th. Armenia's ancient church finds itself at the center of a political storm as the government cracks down on dissent within its ranks. Next, conflict between government and church in Armenia stirred by same forces as in Ukraine, ex-diplomat claims. This is the next day, the 30th. So conflict between the government and the church in Armenia stirred by same forces in Ukraine. The standoff is a civil war in the making. But I don't think so, my beautiful guy, because the guy, the prime minister of Armenia, is a guy who goes to London all the time. And the ambassador to London, Armenian ambassador to London, is also a yes sir to MI6. I'm sorry, to Great Britain. Okay? So no, I don't understand. These guys tried to create a revolution against the guys that are with the other guys. Maybe they're going to create a fake situation over there. This is the same as it was in Ukraine. Remember how it was in Ukraine? A government took over and then they started infringing and attacking other people and so on. And the other guys said, we're going to intervene and protect you. Like the Americans, it's the same way the Americans did. The Americans are always called by someone in someone's country for help. It's genocide, that's human rights violations, and the Americans who solved all their problems in their country, they put their little cape of save-a-ho and fly over and help everybody because they have such a big heart and they give to everybody a piece here, a piece there, and a piece in the toilet. All right, my friend, be careful. It's not coincidental that we have Armenia and Azerbaijan, boom, boom, just like that in an interval of about 2 days. Those guys arrest, these guys are arrest, they both arrest. Why is that? Someone triggered it? I think they did. We're going to find out with time who did what. The Russians will peacify the Caucasus. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.